The coronavirus has jeopardized so many of our lives. Businesses are struggling, markets are crashing, and the economy is going to take a major toll in the future. In a situation like this, what should you do with your money? How should you manage your money? Well, that's what you are going to learn in this video. You're going to learn how to create an emergency fund, why it is important to cut down your expenses, and what to do if you have any bank loans, leases, as well as credit card debts, and what if you don't have any savings. And finally, you are going to learn how to invest in a time like this coming up. If you are new to this channel, my name is Nishan De Silva. I'm the founder of Jump.lk. If you want to start your own business, learn about personal finance and investing, and ultimately create a great life, consider subscribing to our channel. Now to the good stuff. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to an emergency protocol. Realize that this is not a normal time, and none of us can predict what will happen in the future, and nobody can tell when things would go back to the way it was before. So what you need to do is you need to prepare for the worst. Definitely the economy is going to take a major hit in the upcoming months. Businesses are going to struggle in the future, and there's a good chance that they will not have enough money to pay for their employees. So there can be salary cut downs as well as laying off people in the future. This has already started in countries like USA and UK and Australia. They have started laying off people. Sri Lanka will naturally follow. So whether you are working full-time or whether you are an entrepreneur, COVID-19 is going to impact your income in the future. So the first thing you need to do is go to an emergency protocol. Preparing for the worst is the best to do in a time like this. With that mindset, let's see what you can do to protect yourself as well as your family in the upcoming hard time. The number one thing you need to do in a time like this is creating an emergency fund. Now, I've been emphasizing the importance of having an emergency fund for a long time. In fact, I have written an entire article on how to create an emergency fund in Sri Lanka. You'll find the link in the description below. If you have been following my advice, there's a good chance that you have an emergency fund. Start utilizing it because you are facing an emergency. So don't leave that money in a bank account or a unit trust. Withdraw that money and start using it. That's the first thing you need to do. Now, what if you don't have an emergency fund? Well, this is the best time to create an emergency fund. So go and sit down and start writing down all your monthly minimum essential expenses. This includes essential food, utility bills, and anything else that you and your family needs to survive. Keep in mind that this does not include any unwanted expenses such as shopping or any restaurant bills, only the essential amount. So write down all the things that you need and how much you will need to cover the essential expenses. Then multiply that by 6 because you need a reserve for 6 months. That's going to be your emergency fund. Now, if you have that kind of money saved or invested somewhere, that means you have your emergency fund. That means you are sorted for 6 months. Now, what if you don't have that kind of money? Well, even for 3 months or even for 2 months or even for a single month, try to create an emergency fund because that's going to be paramount in a situation like that. So if you don't have enough savings for 6 months, don't worry, don't panic. Save whatever the amount that you can so that it will be a cushion for you in the future. That's the number one thing you need to do right now. Create an emergency fund. Now, where should you have this money? The money that is in your emergency fund? Well, it has to be in a place where you can immediately withdraw. So don't go and save or invest your money in a fixed deposit. Why? Because in a fixed deposit, you can't withdraw your money anytime you want. So ideally, this money has to be in a savings account or a unit trust. That's where you should have your emergency fund. If you want to learn more about how to create an emergency fund, check out the description below and click the article and read that article. The next thing you need to do is you need to start cutting down all your expenses. So except for the essential items such as your food, utility bills and anything else, cut down all the other unwanted expenses. So if you have any expensive phone bills, expensive Wi-Fi bills, start downgrading those. And if you have any expensive subscriptions, start canceling those. If you are a person with a very little or no savings, cutting down your expenses aggressively is one of the ways you can start saving some money. So the second step is cut down all your expenses to the bare minimum. Next step is looking at all the money that you owe to others. So do you have any bank loans? Do you have any vehicle leases? Or do you have any credit card debts? The good news is the Sri Lankan government has given so many concessions when it comes to your bank loans, vehicle leases as well as your credit card debt. So they have given a grace period where you don't have to make any installment payments. So talk to your bank, talk to your leasing company, talk to your credit card company and ask them what are their grace periods as well as what are their concessions. I'll link an article in the description below which highlights all the concessions that are given by the government. So first read that article and start calling your bank, start calling your leasing company as well as start calling your credit card bank and see what their grace periods are like. Then if you can delay those payments, start delaying those payments as long as you don't incur any additional interest or any additional fines. So start delaying those payments. So if you have any standing orders set up to pay your bank loans, your lease payments or any other bill, cancel those standing orders or post those standing orders and go to a manual mode and start processing those payments manually. Why? Because this way, if you can delay a certain payment, you can save some money in your hand. That's the most important thing at this moment, having some cash in your hand. So start delaying those payments as much as possible. Also, if you have any house rents or any other business rents, talk to your landlord, see if he or she is willing to give you a grace period. I mean, most of the time they would understand the situation and they'll give you a grace period. So if you can delay such payments, take those opportunities and delay those payments. Now, if you're an entrepreneur or if you're self-employed or if you're a freelancer, unless you don't have enough money saved, this period is going to be extra hard for you. Why? Because unlike a full-time employee, you are not getting a monthly salary. So if you're a person who does not get a regular paycheck, the first thing you need to do is you need to start cutting down your expenses aggressively. That's the first thing you need to do. And the next thing is you cannot stop selling. If you're an entrepreneur, I know these times are hard and everybody else is struggling, but you cannot stop selling. Why? Because that's the only way you are going to make some money. So don't stop marketing, don't stop putting in the effort. What you need to do, what you need to focus is you need to keep on selling. That's what you need to focus on. And if you are a consultant, if you are a freelancer, or if you are conducting coaching, what you can do is talk to your clients, talk to your customers and see if you can get an advance payment from them. Be honest and explain them the situation and see if they are willing to pay you an advance. That's another way for you to make some money in these hard times. Most importantly, the best thing you need to do is you need to keep your spirits up. Don't be harsh on yourself, because this wasn't something that someone could have easily predicted. We didn't know that this would happen. So don't be harsh on yourself. What you need to do is start doubling down on your business. Start doing more work as much as possible. And most importantly, don't stop selling. So put in the work, keep doing the work, and hopefully good times will come. Until then, keep your spirits up. Don't panic. Okay, so all this is great, but what if you don't have any savings left? What if you don't have enough money to buy at least the essential items? Well, if you're in a situation like that, then that sucks. But you can't just wallow in your misery. You need to start making some critical decisions. So the first thing you do if you don't have any savings is talk to your friends, talk to your family members and see if you can get a loan from them. It's not a shame to ask for help when you need help. I have done this a million times. So see if you can reach out to one of your family members or one of your friends and see if you can get a loan. There's a good chance that they will understand. And the second thing you can do is, if you have a credit card, start using it. Why? If you don't have any money, you don't have any other choice. So start using your credit card, but only to buy the essentials, not for shopping expenses or not for anything extravagant. Just to buy the minimum essentials, start using your credit card. Talk to your credit card company and see if they are willing to give you a grace period for your minimum payment as well as for your other installment payments, and start utilizing your credit card if you have one. And the third thing you can do is, again, cut down your expenses aggressively. That's the only other way for you to save some money. And if you have any payments, any utility bills, any other payments that you need to make, if you can delay those, start delaying those so that you can save some money in your cash. That's something that you can do if you don't have any savings. So during these hard times, if you are still thinking of investing, no, you are not crazy. Even I am thinking of how to invest my money. If you have some additional cash that is available for investing, well, this is a good time to invest. Now, because the central bank has reduced or cut down the interest rates, the return that you are going to earn from a fixed deposit or the return that you are going to earn from government securities is going to be lower in the upcoming months. And if you have invested your money in unit trusts, most of those unit trusts invest their money in fixed deposits as well as government securities. So the return that you are going to get from your unit trust investments are also going to be lower in the future. So if you cannot invest in fixed deposits, if you cannot invest in government securities, and if you cannot invest in unit trusts, where can you invest your money? Well, you can invest in the Colombo Stock Exchange. Because the market has come down drastically, this is a fantastic time to find some bargains in the market. Most of the valuable shares have come down, so this is a good time to find some bargains. But keep in mind that investing in the stock market has its own risk, and you can't predict what will happen in the market future. Sometimes the stock market can even fall down further, so you never know this. So it's important that you do your due diligence, but keep in mind that it's a good time to find some bargains. The final step is start thinking about how you can start making more money. One thing I realized after COVID-19 is if you are just having one source of income, that's not enough. You are putting yourself at risk. You are putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. In case if your main source of income gets cut down, you'll be vulnerable. You will not have any other ways of making money. So these days, I'm purely focused on finding different avenues of making money. So there's a good chance that you are stuck at home and you don't have anything else to do. So start learning on different ways of how you can make money. Start reading about passive income. Start reading about how you can make money online. If you have been thinking of starting your own business, this is a fantastic time to plan how you can start your business. Even if you are employed full-time, you can still start a side hustle. So start thinking about making more money in different avenues. So that's the final step. Alright, so that's the end of this video. I know that the future is going to be tough and there's going to be some hard times, some challenging times in the future. But what you can do is do not panic. That's not going to help anybody. Start creating an emergency fund and cut down all your expenses, all your unwanted expenses, and try to delay your payments, your bank loans, your lease payments, your credit card payments, as well as any other payment. If you can delay to save some money, start delaying those as long as you are not incurring any additional charges or additional fines. Finally, think of different ways that you can start making money so that you are not putting yourself in a vulnerable situation like this in the future. That's what you need to do. Now I need a favor from you. If you found any value in this video, go and share this video with one person who you think is struggling with their finances. You might be doing them a favor. And if you want to learn about starting your own business, personal finance, practical investing, go check out jump.lk, where we have enough and more free guides and videos. So check out jump.lk. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to publish videos just like this in the future. So until our next video, stay safe.